right, well, taking on the ocean to save the environment, ex-Naval Combat Officer Zirk Botha is set to row from Cape Town to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in support of the environment and climate change. Botha will need at least 90 days to finish his journey. He joins us now from the Mother City to talk to us about this amazing adventure. A very good morning to you, Zirk. First of all, I need you to explain to me what possesses someone to row for 90 days. Why are you doing this?
Sure. Yeah, good morning, and thanks for having me. Yes, it's a combination of two things. The first being my love for adventure challenges. I've always enjoyed a good adventure challenge, and then combining that with the priority for sustainable development. And getting the message of the requirement for renewable energy as one of the critical elements of sustainable development approach to providing electricity for South Africa and globally.
So how do you prepare and train for an expedition like this, and what kind of conditions are you expecting to come across during that 90 days?
So training, I've started 2 years ago. I'm fortunate, I've always been active. So I had a good base to start from, but then 2 years ago when I decided to set this challenge, I changed my training regime. I joined the Cape Coastal Rowing Club here in Simonstown to get some very good rowing coaching from our coach at the club, and then combined that with some very good strength training, endurance strength training to set the baseline. I think the big thing to keep in mind with something like this is that you can't really train 100% for it. It's too long, so it's something that's going to take a lot of mental resilience on top of being physically prepared. And then the big thing with the conditions, it's crossing the South Atlantic Ocean, so there will be some stormy weather. The weather will be challenging at times. The important thing there is to have the correct design for the boat and to back that up with proper safety equipment in case things do go wrong.
All right, you mentioned the boat, and I know that you are building it yourself, which is also another unbelievable thing in this whole conversation that we're having. How far are you in the process of building that boat, and what does it entail?
So the construction of the boat is completed now. That's the one positive side that I had from the lockdown period, that I could focus a lot of energy and time on completing the boat. The boat is constructed from closed cell foam, which is laminated with glass fiber and epoxy. And the boat was launched about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, at the False Bay Yacht Club in Simonstown. And I am now busy with the final checks and setting up and changing what I need to change to make it 100% ready for the crossing across.
And you're going on this journey completely unassisted. You are going completely solo. How much more complicated then does that make things?
Well, there's positives and negatives to that. From other crossings that I followed on other oceans, it sometimes does become complicated when there's 2 or 3 people in the crossing on a small boat like that in a confined space. But yes, it will be emotionally and mentally challenging being completely on my own. But then modern technology has really made things a lot easier than many years ago, like in the 90s when the first ocean crossing started taking place. Nowadays, I would have a satellite data connection, so I would be able to chat to my family every day by voice calls and text messages or emails. So that does make it a little bit easier, frankly.
All right, so when do you depart? I believe it is sometime in December.
That's correct, yes. So I will go on standby. The intention is to depart from on the 1st of December from Cape Town. But that will depend on the weather. The weather will be predictable or unpredictable for the entire crossing. But for the first 2 and 3 days, I would just like to have fairly good weather in order to get away from Cape Town and to cross the shipping lanes. before things become tough. So that's why it's not an exact date, but I'm planning for the 1st of December.
All right, thank you very much, Zirk. We'll leave it there, and all the best on your expedition. He will be, of course, rowing from Cape Town to Rio de Janeiro in December. Well.